What's up? Good morning, y'all. Another beautiful day out there. You know what I'm saying? Always. Oh, nice morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk about a very, very touchy topic to a lot of people. But you got to understand, I'm not coming, I don't ever come to try to change nobody's mind about how they believe or what they believe, because personally, I don't care. As long as it make you a good person, that's all that matters. Who you worship is your decision. What you choose to do is your decision. You know, I'm just doing what I like to do. I just like to share information, and I want to talk about religion a little bit today and what it actually started out as. And like I tell people, I'm not one of them people that I'm not gonna be on here showing you slides with books and dates and nah, you can go do that yourself. You know, if you're listening to me, go out and find out for yourself. You came to the page for a reason. So I'm gonna get into my thoughts for the day on religion. And like I say, you can agree with it, you can disagree with it, but either way it go, you're gonna find out something new. So I'm gonna go with Christianity today, because that's you know that's major religion where I come from. So you know, and this is a big discussion amongst people all the time, and I'm sick of people arguing with me. Like, look at people. I don't argue. I like to share information with you. If you got something, cool. If I got something, cool. We can talk. But I don't this arguing, man. Because you ain't listening. You ain't even trying to hear people out. Your first instinct is to demonize somebody or jump down somebody's throat. Like, oh, slow down. Like, what you got going on? I'm just trying to share my opinion with you, just like you got your opinion. Why are why, what's up with the hostility? You know what I'm saying? And then when I give you, the information, you're like, well, where it say it in the Bible? And then I gotta look at you like, ain't you a Christian? Ain't you supposed to know this book back and forth? This is what you dedicate your whole being to, your everything. But you telling me in the years you done been on this plane, you still don't know that book. And this upsets me because you try to argue a point that you barely know 2% about. Now, I'm not saying I know it all, but at least the fact is I know more than what was given to me in the beginning. But yet and still, when I try to share that information with you, you demonize me and other people like me. And it's getting to a point where it's getting really, really, really annoying. But you call yourself a Christian, yet and still you do not truly know this book and what it actually means to be a Christian. But yet and still, when people try to share with you, you do the most unchristian thing and judge and demonize. But yet, you believe. So, once again, let's get to this whole meaning of religion and what religion actually, what religion actually is. You know what I'm saying? Basically, all religion is your rules, regulations, and guidelines on how you're going to carry yourself out here in this world. Now, when you look into the Bible, these were the rules and regulations of the Hebrew people. It tells you this all through the Bible. Okay? Now, let's break down where the Hebrew people and where they actually got the concept and the ideas for the Bible. Like you got to do your research. Like, in order to understand the Bible, you have to understand the Hebrew people. You have to understand the region they come from, the region they were in before they got there, how they got to be Hebrew people. Yes, the Bible tells you, like it says, like the acronym people always say, basic instructions before leaving Earth. Well, that's basically what the Bible is. It's very basic history about the Hebrew people, you know, the followers of Yahweh. And when you actually read the Bible, read the stories, okay, and then go read about the people and go find out, okay, where did this person come from? Did this person actually exist? Can I actually find historical documents on certain people? And for the people you do, you got to go look for that. You got to go with. And then you find out more about that person. And then you see how it ties into that person. You know what I'm saying? And I want to stick in, as far as the religious aspect, I'm going to stay with the Old Testament, as the Hebrew people, it's the Torah, I believe is the correct pronunciation. So, and then you have to understand what happened to the Bible throughout history, through war. Even the Bible speaks of war, conquerors, different people getting a hold of this information and manipulating it to their benefit. Because you have to understand the best way to control the people is to control their religion, is to control their beliefs, is to control what they do, what they eat, how they think. This is what religion actually is. It's just your way of doing things in life. And the Bible is basically for Christians. This is your handbook on how to be a Christian, on how to live, how to eat, because it even tells you what to eat, tells you what to live, tells you what to do. To a T, basically, this is your handbook, you know, and people have to understand where this handbook came from, where it originated, where some of these laws and regulations come from, where a lot of these stories actually happen. Some are true stories, some are actually parables, and this is why you don't find historical documents for a lot of these people. Because some may have been destroyed through war, and some may have not been, but for the most part, a lot of them have been discovered through the temples that they left behind. They've actually done their research, read the Bible, and it was like, okay, let's go see if this place is here. Went there and was like, got to digging around, and lo and behold, they found it. It was like, oh, so what else in the Bible could actually be relevant? And this is why the Bible is very important. This is why they make sure everybody has one. But you have to understand, man, the physical man rules this plane. Yes, God created us, but you have to understand God gave us free will to do as we please, with the understanding that all rules and regulations. But you still do what you want to do. Do you? And some people just took that and was like, all right, cool. And they don't care what happens to them in the afterlife. They're gonna do what they want here and now, regardless. Because if you read the Bible correctly, God said you can. God didn't ever say that you wasn't gonna pay the price for what you do. For every cause, there's an effect. So you gotta understand that too. So, you know, now I want to go to the Ten Commandments and where they actually originated from. Yes, they give you the parable of Moses going up to the mountain, receiving the Ten Commandments, and bringing it back to them. Once again, throughout history, things have been changed. But we have found actual records of an Egyptian, fitting the name and the description of Moses, who never left Egypt, in the aspect that the Bible puts it in, mind you. Once again, even scholars tell you this was rewritten to serve a certain purpose. Christians, you can't argue this point until you go do your research on that book you're supposed to read every day, on the lifestyle you say you're supposed to live. Right? So, back to what I was saying. The Ten Commandments actually come from the original 42 laws of Mayat. Mayat is actually the goddess of nature and Egyptian Kemetic folklore. They not see what in the Kemetic aspect they don't call it religion. They say it's a spiritual belief. These are laws of nature. These are things that nature tells us. We just they decided to write it down. They were the first people to do this. This is where the Hebrews actually learned how to write. This is where the original Hebrew block Hebrew comes from. It is derived from, the Medu Neter, or as, people call it, the hieroglyphics. You know what I'm saying? It all came from the same place. You know what I'm saying? Now you go back into the parable of Moses. Instead of thinking about it as him going into a mountain, you got to understand what Egypt, or as once again, as Kemetic people like to call it, Kemet, actually was. Yes, this is a city, but also this is a learning institution. This is basically a huge college campus, if you want to say. And the pyramids, if you really, want to, if you're not educated in what the pyramid actually is, what are you going to relate it to? A mountain. So Moses comes down with the knowledge to the Hebrew people, helps them, guides them, gives them knowledge. This is where all the stories come in. The 40 days and 40 nights and 40 years through all that. Man, no, come on. You got to be realistic. These are parables, people. You have to look for the alternative and deeper meanings to what these people are trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? And you can't keep fighting this. You can't be so one-sided, because this is not how the Bible was written. This is not how it was intended to be translated. See, the whole concept behind the Bible's origination was it was to be given to make sure that knowledge was passed down, to let you know what goes on here on the plane that we live on. And this translates through every aspect. Some people call it the Quran, some people call it the Torah. Some people are Buddhists, but it's all the same stuff. It's here to tell you what you're supposed to do when you're here, what's going to happen while you're here, and what could happen if you do this, because it's already happened. They know this, you know what I'm saying, but they want to keep you in the mystical aspect of it to make money. Not to be funny, but it's all to make money. You know what I'm saying? I know some people is like, well, Lord, I'm not knocking you. If it makes you a good person, rock on. But do your research, because it will hurt you to find out that if you look through history, and history tells you this, and Christian scholars would even agree, and they say this themselves, that throughout history, Christians have killed more people than anybody else. The tribe of Yahweh has shed more blood across this plain than anybody. Yeah, because you got to think about it. Conquistadors came with the cross, the Bible, and guns. The French, same. The British, same. The Germans, same. Certain African tribes when they warred, same. The Moors did it. So, this is part of the history that you have to accept, especially if you're going to call yourself Christian. You can't deny this, because even in the Bible, it speaks about great wars in the name of Yahweh. And if you're a Christian, you need to learn who Yahweh actually is. You need to go study Sumerian texts. And you find out Yahweh is another name for Enki. Because they tell you he was part of the tribe of Elohim. That's the Sumerian tribe, part of the Anunnaki. But you refuse to go deeper into the Bible. And even the Bible tells you, my children perish for a lack of knowledge. And then, you have to ask yourself also, why was there a New Testament created? Well, that's the combination of the tribe of Yahweh and the followers of Baal. Yeah, this is why the parable of Jesus speaks when he says, behold, the old has gone away and all has become new. See, y'all have to understand back then that there were wars all over the place. The so-called First World War, nah, it's been many world wars. They're fighting. We some fighting little creatures. I don't know what's up with that. Like throughout history, that's how we some fighting little things. Well, we get done. But see, once you go to the Bible, it's gonna reference Egypt a lot. Once you get to Egypt, you jump over. Because even, matter of fact, they even speak about a Sumerian king in the Bible by the name of Nimrod. You know. But Yahweh and Nimrod were part of the same tribe. Nimrod was half Egyptian. See, y'all gotta read this stuff, man. You have to go deeper into your Bible. They stop you at Hebrew and Greek. That's where they want to keep you. But nobody says you have to keep yourself though. You got to find out who the Greek and Hebrew learned from. You got to find out who they learned from. You got to find out who they learned from. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't argue. I love to share information. There might be something out there that you know that I don't know. It might be a point of view that I haven't yet to look at. Like I say, the Bible itself is so complex and so useful if you read it in its correct aspect, in all its components. Because once again, Christians hate to accept the fact that there have been books taken out of the Bible. Now there are new revisions of the Bible with old books added in after they've taken out what they need to take out and made it appeasable for them to give to the public. But you still should read it. Because even though it's been tampered with, it's still some good information now. Because the most important thing is not knowledge of books, but is the knowledge of oneself and understanding this earth that we live on. You need to learn how to grow food. You need to learn how to purify water. You need to learn how to build from nature. These things will be important. And this is what the Bible holds. People always ask, what's the key to happiness? Whatever you make it. What's the key to eternal life? Whatever you make it. But understand the Bible is a great guide to all of it. But not just the Bible in the Bible's aspect. We have to look at it from the grand stand of everything. But the Bible is a great starting point. And if you read it right and understand with an open mind the directions it will send you in are endless. So those are just my thoughts today, man. Y'all be good. See y'all later.